Blackburn Rovers, three-time English League champions, a club with so much prestige and history, but today, a club in peril. No longer are the Riversiders battling it out with England and Europe's elite. Instead, they find themselves battling it out near the relegation zone in the Championship. It's a shame to see how the once mighty has fallen, but today, we change that. Today, we rebuild Blackburn. G'day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome back to another video in the rebuilding series. Today, we head back to the EFL Championship. We head back to a fallen giant. Today it is Blackburn Rovers under the rebuild microscope. And today's video shout out goes to Aaron Holt, who suggested that we rebuild Blackburn. If you want to put in your suggestions and potentially get a shout out, make sure you follow me on Twitter at JarradHD. For those of you who have not seen a rebuilding challenge video yet, here are the rules. So the main objective of this is to take a team to the Champions League final. We will be simulating every single game up until the Champions League final, which we will play ourselves. We can make whatever transfers we like. Realistic, unrealistic, it does not matter. There's a big focus on the transfer window, only showing players that we sign. And finally, don't get butthurt if I sell your favorite player. Let's get into the rebuild. I'm expecting for this to be a monster of a rebuild, so if you do go on to enjoy it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Also, if you are new around here, make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below. We are on the push for 250,000 subscribers. Even saying that is mental to think about. So this is what our starting lineup looks like with Blackburn. It's a decent side, to be honest. We've got a lot of players to work with, but my main improvements for this season will be a new starting striker instead of Danny Graham. Then I'll probably look to go for a new right midfielder and move Jack Reed, or Harrison Reed I think his name is, into the CDM role. And if we have enough left over, maybe even go for a new young centre-back that can outgrow Charlie Mulgrew. But it's all a part of the process. Let's begin that process. So we kick things off. Our first signing is going to be for a new striker. It is Patson Daka, the Zambian, I believe it is. He has come across from Salzburg, I should say, RB Salzburg, for £2.25 million. This guy should be good. And a player departure here. Corey Evans is off to a club that I'm not even going to try pronouncing for £870,000. And a big signing here as we bring in Alexis Salimakers from Anderlecht. The Belgian right midfielder is going to be an influential pickup, and we paid £5 million for his services. And another player departure here as we sell Elliot Bennett to Huracan in, I believe, Colombia for £690,000. I was trying so hard to get a centre-back in on deadline day, but it's something we're going to have to think about come January. Daka and Salamakers in, Evans and Bennett out. How are we sitting at the halfway point? Hopefully not in the relegation zone, but we'll soon find out. So at the halfway point of season 1, we're in a pretty comfortable spot, but also at the same time, which doesn't make sense now I'm saying it out loud, but an uncomfortable spot. We sit in 18th, 4 positions away from the relegation zone, but the comforting part of it is that we are 8 points ahead of Rotherham and 9 points ahead of Ipswich, well ahead of Bolton. They look like they're dead and buried, but we need to make sure we survive this season. It's looking pretty similar to how the Championship is in real life. Who's at the top of it? Not that we're super worried, but it is Stoke and Derby in the automatic spots, but we're just worried about survival. Let's go into this January transfer window and hopefully buy a new centre-back. There it is, we achieve our goal of bringing in a new centre-back. It is Nicolas Koza, the Frenchman, coming across from Marseille, I believe it was, no, Montpellier, for a pretty good sum of £2.65 million, so I'll cop that. Welcome to Blackburn, mate. What is going on with that bloke's forehead? But we have made one signing in this January transfer window. It is Koza. He comes to the club and hopefully helps us survive relegation. Hey, I'm happy with that second half of the season. We have finished mid-table here, so going from a mini relegation battle to a mid-table finish, definitely positive signs. Preston, Ipswich and Bolton all relegated, so Rotherham escaped. That relegation battle was so close, but Who got promoted? It is Stoke and Leeds automatically going up. Liverpool, they did win the FA Cup. Liverpool also won the Carabao Cup. Fair play. Aston Villa, they win the playoff final, getting revenge, I guess. Well, not really revenge, just kind of making up for the loss they had in the playoff final in real life against Fulham. Had to throw that one in there. But they are going up to the Premier League with Stoke and Leeds. Barcelona take down Man United and win the Champions League final. And Inter Milan win the Europa League. So, as good a start to Season 1 as I expected. Some big signings. We survived comfortably. And now we need to build on that in Season number 2 with Blackburn. £5 million spent on a signing to kick off season number 2. It is a new central defensive midfielder. It is Nikola Moro. The Croat comes across from Dinamo Zagreb, and I am so excited for this bloke to be in our midfield. What a pickup he is going to prove to be, hopefully. You know what? Drop the hopefully. This guy is going to be a fantastic pickup. And a new left back into the club. We bring in Raul Petretta from FC Basel. The Italian makes the move for £4.6 million. So 2 massive signings for us in this window. Moro and Petretta into the club. And just like that, I need to put Petretta in there. But our starting 11 is starting to look very strong. 70s all over the shop except for Nyambe. But hopefully we can qualify. No, I was going to say qualify for Champions League. But hopefully we can be in the push for Premier League promotion this season. Let's suss that out. Alright, we're in a better position than I expected. We are sitting in 6th position in the playoff hunt. Granted, we are only in the playoffs by the skin of our teeth, by goal difference. We sit in 6th. Huddersfield, West Brom, Brentford, Swansea, all these quality sides in striking distance of us. But we hopefully can get up and about in the playoff mix this season, if not into the automatic spots, which is a little bit of a tough task, but we'll see what we can do. Middlesbrough and Brighton in those spots right now, and it is QPR, Bradford City, and Scunthorpe all in the relegation zone. So yeah, no real surprise that after our decently busy transfer window to open the season, we couldn't afford to buy anybody in this window. But are we going to qualify for the playoffs? Are we going to be Premier League bound? It'll be interesting. Let's crack on. We have only narrowly missed out on playoff qualification. I feel like we have had a great season, and in any other season, 80 points sees us make the playoffs, but this season it is not to be. Cardiff, Swansea, Norwich and Middlesbrough all ahead of us. West Brom and Brighton automatically promoted, but next season, the goal needs to be promotion. Huddersfield didn't finish mid-table. Who got relegated though? QPR, Bradford, and Scunthorpe. Spurs did go on and win the FA Cup over Leicester. Spurs also won the Carabao Cup in a North London derby. And Cardiff City go straight back up to the Premier League in a Welsh derby. Swansea losing to Cardiff. Wow. Spurs, they have had an incredible season, but they couldn't win the Champions League. They lost on penalties to PSG. And AC Milan win the Europa League. So good signs in Season 2, but we want to get on to the next bloody level in Season 3. Some good transfers, some good results, and hopefully top it all off with promotion. We're taking this push for the Premier League very seriously as we make a centre-back signing to kick off season number 3. It is the Austrian Dario Maricic, who is arriving for £7.4 million. And 2 player departures here. Jack Rodwell off to Bahia for £640,000. And Ben Gladwin off to Aldisavy for £230,000. And another one 2 days later as Derek Williams departs for Fenerbahce for £2.5 million. And a quality right back signing as we sign Dodo from some Brazilian club. Not quite sure which one it was. Oh, that's the one. No, they're Portuguese, aren't they? Guimarães, they're Portuguese. But we signed him for £6.9 million. Thank God for release clauses. Maricic and Dodo into the club. Gladwin, Rodwell and Williams out of it. This has to be the season we push for promotion. And let's crack on with that. Let's see how the push is going. That's what we want to see. We are top of the championship table. A 10-point buffer between us and third placed Bristol City. First or second, I'll take either. Of course, first would be much sweeter. but we will take promotion regardless. Looking down the other end of the table, and it is Wigan, Millwall, and Plymouth having a shocker. No wins, 6 draws in 25 games. That is atrocious. So no business done in this January transfer window, but I am very, very hopeful that we get promoted to the Premier League. Come on, Blackburn, let's get back to where we belong. Oh yes, we have been relegated, and we have done it in style. Top of the table, 98 points. Would have been great to crack that century mark, but it's us and Stoke going through. There's such a big gap between us, Stoke, and Swansea compared to the rest of the top 4 to 6, but we are up. Blackburn, almost at Brentford. Blackburn, Premier League in season number 4, back to where they belong. How did the relegation battle shape up though? How did it finish? And it is Birmingham, Derby. Wow, Derby and Plymouth, who managed to get 4 wins, going down to League One. Liverpool did win the FA Cup. Wolves, they win the Carabao Cup. Aston Villa join us and Stoke back in the Premier League. Man United get their revenge from season 1 and win the Champions League. And it is Tottenham winning a North London derby in the Europa League final. What a season it has been. We are headed to the Premier League. Let's crack on. Season 4, Blackburn. Come on, lads. We're in the Premier League, and we mean business. Paul Lopez joining us, 86 rated, has just taken this team up a notch. £37 million, basically our whole transfer budget on this bloke. But if you guys know anything, if you've seen the rebuilds in the past, you know how crucial a good goalkeeper is to survival. Generally, when clubs come into the big leagues, when they come into the Premier League, they like to spend big, but we have only made the one signing of Paul Lopez. That is a crucial signing in that, already our highest rated player. It's going to be a difficult season, but I feel like that signing is one that should see us survive. But let's track our process. Okay, I'll take that. Just over halfway through our opening season in the Premier League, we sit mid-table. So we're on 28 points. So we're 8 points clear of the zone, which is nowhere near safe enough, but definitely a better start to life in the Prem than I was expecting. 7 draws, 7 losses, and 7 wins. Need to convert some of those into more wins, but Everton, top of the Premier League right now. I'll take 11th though. Our first pre-contract signing in charge of Blackburn is going to be Rodrigo Bentancur, so definitely a big pickup getting the Uruguayan in for season number 5, and I would hope, really hope that it's a signing we make while we're still a Premier League club. So welcome in season 5, Rodrigo Bentancur. So excited for Bentancur to be in the squad next season. He's going to take us up a whole nother level, but this is the side we have to battle it out with for the end of season number 4. Definitely want to go for a new left midfielder next season. I think that's going to be priority number 1. But anyways, let's see if we survive the Premier League. I sure hope so. Get in there, lads. 12 points clear of the drop zone. We survive season 1 in a pretty healthy position. I mean, only 3 points away from Chelsea, so I'll definitely cop that. Burnley in 7th. Liverpool end up winning the Premier League title, but I'm stoked at 11th in the Premier League. Aston Villa, West Ham and Southampton all relegated. Liverpool do win the FA Cup. Spurs win the Carabao Cup on pens against Palace. Real Madrid once again beat Atletico Madrid in a Champions League final. And Liverpool win the Europa League over Lazio. So life in the Premier League got off to a dream start, but can that dream continue on in season 5? Or will it be second season syndrome? Certainly hope not the latter. Beginning the season with a player departure, it is Paul Downing off to Piranha for $610,000. And Amari Bell is the latest player to depart the club, as he is off to EA Guangam for, I believe it was 3.3 million. Sorry, it came up here as well. I didn't even notice that one. 3.65 million. Trying to grow and grow the transfer budget. Bradley Dack, one of our starters throughout the whole video, is off to Fiorentina. And a somewhat controversial departure, we have sold Harry Chapman, a decent prospect, off to Ghent for 6.3 million. We said we wanted to upgrade at left-hand side position, the left midfield / left wing position, and we have done just that. signing Justin Kluivert for £34 million on the dot. What a signing. I think you guys can start to see a bit of my strategy, at least for the next season or so, and last season as well. We don't have too much to work with, so we splashed the cash on one big signing. This window, it was Kluivert, who subsequently and ironically is injured. But our side is a little bit I'll try that again. A little bit miss and match. I failed it. Let's say again. Mix and match. Yes, that's the one I'm looking for. But it's a lot of like high 70 rated. And then like Bentancur, Kluivert, Daka, Lopez, all these guys who are in like the mid to high 80s. But I don't know what to expect for this season. So I'll see you on January 1st. Holy shit, lads. This is where we want to be. Second position. 41 points. Oh my god, okay, so we're in the title race. Mad, we're in the title race, lads. So, yeah, I don't know what to say after that. I mean, I wasn't expecting us to make top 4 this year, but top 4 needs to be the goal now. I was thinking maybe the Europa League qualification, if we're lucky, but top 4 looks like it's on the cards. Scrolling down the table, though, the teams in trouble are Leicester, Watford, Palace, and there's a few others in the mix. Get in there, another massive pre-contract signing. Don't worry, I'm not going to be abusing pre-contracts, but when you have the opportunity to sign somebody like Malcolm, you have to take it with both hands. The Brazilian will be joining us to lead our right midfield spot next season. What a pickup he is sure to be for the club. Very excited for Malcolm to be a Rover next season, but we have to stick it out for this season. Let's see how season number 5 with Blackburn ends. Is top 4 on the cards? Oh, lads, not at the best second half of the season. We end up finishing in 6th position, which might nab us a Europa League spot. But yeah, I'm not stoked at that second half of the season. Top 4 was ambitious, although we were second at the halfway point, but surely we get there next season with Malcolm, and I'm sure another signing or two in the mix. But Man City did win another Premier League title, and it is Watford, Cardiff, and Palace all relegated. Wolves did win the FA Cup. Man City take down Burnley to win the Carabao Cup. Liverpool, they win the Champions League, an all-English final, and an all-Italian final in the Europa League as Roma take down Inter Milan. We're getting there, lads. Season 5 done and dusted. Very excited for Malcolm to come in next season, and surely next season we make that leap into Champions League football. We have started this season off with a defensive signing, someone that has made a big move in real life. It is Eder Militao. In real life, he went to Real Madrid from Porto, but we have picked him up from Bayer Leverkusen for £46.4 million. Again, splashing the cash on just one player. It is Eder Militao, the Brazilian coming into our squad. Another Brazilian, Malcolm, arrived on a pre-contract signing, and our side is starting to come together quite nicely. Champions League qualification needs to be the goal for this season, so let's see how that's tracking along on January 1st. So we're in an all-right position at the halfway point. We're sitting in 5th, but we are definitely within striking distance of top 4, equal on points with Tottenham. But then at the other end of things, there's a lot of clubs all the way down to probably 11th place Stoke that are in awesome striking position as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try making a signing in January, but we are absolutely strapped for cash. So if I am going to make a signing, it's going to be having to come off the back of selling a few players. Yeah, nah, no business done. It is what it is. Only £4 million to work with, and with the squad we have now, £4 million ain't enough. But hopefully we qualify for top 4. Come on, lads, let's do it, Blackburn. Oh, come on, man. We have been absolutely dreadful in the second half of the season, finishing in 8th position. We were, 12 points away from top 4. What happened in the second half of the season? That is not what we were after at all. Damn, alright. Man City win the Premier League. Who got relegated? It is Fulham, Leeds, and Bournemouth. Man United did take down Newcastle and win the FA Cup. Southampton lost to Man City in the Carabao Cup final. Man City, they win the Champions League. Get in there, lads! Oh my god, we won the Europa League! Okay, we won the Europa League, so we will be playing Champions League football next season after all. Oh my god, that took me by surprise. We took down Roma in the final, Real Sociedad in the semis, Benfica in the quarters, Arsenal in the round of 16, Wolfsburg in the round of 32. Wow, okay, so Blackburn, UEFA Europa League winners. Get in there, season saved. So a pretty trash season turned out to be one of our best, probably actually our best, because we have won the Europa League and subsequently qualified for the Champions League next season. So let's see how we crack on in season number 7 with Champions League football ahead of us. We begin this season with a player departure, Luis Travis off to Saint Etienne for £4 million. Another player departure here as Darragh Lenihan is off to Werder Bremen for £5 million. Someone I have been wanting to sign for a very long time in a rebuild. One of my favourite players right now in world football, I guess you could say. It is Guendouzi, Matteo Guendouzi, the Frenchman, coming across from Arsenal to Blackburn. £55.9 million is the transfer fee. Trying to sell off a lot of our older, more useless players, for lack of a better term, but Dominic Samuel is off to Trabzonspor in Turkey for £2.45 million. And yet another player departure, Joe Rothwell off to Reading for £3.15 million. And we are planning on upgrading at the left back spot because we have sold Petretta, to Bayern Munich. £33.2 million is the transfer sum, which should give us a decent amount of money to work with in upgrading at the left back spot. And there it is, we upgrade at the left back spot. It is Sergio Reguilon. I'm apologizing in advance because I know I've butchered the Spaniard's last name. I'm just going to call him Sergio. Sergio signs from Real Madrid for only £27.2 million, which I'm stoked about. Two big time signings into the club. Guendouzi and Reguilon, or Reguilon, Sergio into the club, and then a lot of players out of it. So striker and centre back are the two positions that really need upgrading, but besides that, our squad is coming along so nicely. Let's go and check out our Champions League group for the first time with Blackburn. So an interesting group here. Obviously Juve are going to prove to be our toughest opponents, but Leipzig could really give us a big shake-up. The club at the bottom of the table, not even going to attempt pronouncing their name. Apologies in advance if any of their fans are watching, but that is a tough name. But we are hopefully going to get out of this group. 50-50 on whether we will, but let's go and suss it out. Get in there, lads. We qualify by the skin of our teeth. It would have come down to the final match day as we took down, no, we lost to Leipzig, so we would have been through anyways, but we are through to the round of 16 of the Champions League, second place in Group H. Juve, very comfortable. Us, not so comfortable, but that Danish side, I believe they are, not good at all. But who are we versing in the round of 16? We are versing AC Milan. They have a lot of good youngsters about 7 seasons in, so it's going to be a task. And halfway through the Premier League season, we find ourselves in second position. Our goal has to be, for every season here on in, Champions League qualification. We are going to make our third and final. I'm drawing the line in the sand here. I don't want to do more than 3 pre-contract signings in a rebuild. We are bringing in Moise Kean to the squad next season. If we don't manage to win the Champions League this season, he will be coming in season number 8, I believe it is. Yeah, season 8, I believe, for us next season. These rebuilds take so long to make, so I tend to lose track of the seasons. Moise Kean coming in next season is going to be absolutely huge. I mean, I'll probably replace him with Brereton or the other way around. But yeah, our squad is in an interesting position. I'm very curious to see how we face up against Milan. Brereton out for the home leg here. So Adam Armstrong jumps into our starting 11 at the striker role. We've got the home leg here against AC Milan, which I'm not a huge fan of. And they get an away goal with De Jong. I'm assuming that's Frankie De Jong. That is not the start we're after. They've got a very good side here, Milan. Donnarumma would have to be in the 90s now in terms of his overall. Rashford up front. They've got a good side. We get a goal back though through Malcolm, which gives us a little bit of hope here. Come on, all tied up, but AC Milan have an away goal as we get into the final 5 minutes, and it's going to stay 1-1 we are in an alright position. No Brereton for the second leg and no Justin Kluivert either, so we are up against it, and the equation is simple. We need an away goal here. And that doesn't help. Rashford gets a goal for Milan, but we still need to get an away goal to tie things up on away goals rule. Nothing really happening here though. Rashford makes it 2-0. Armstrong gets us an away goal back. We need another goal. Far out. We get close and they just keep breaking away. We need 2 goals in the last 20 minutes. Come on, we need a goal now. Rashford, we're done. We are done and dusted in the round of 16. AC Milan dispatch of us. We were close, but yeah, not close enough. We finished 1 point out of the top 4 again. So I think we're either in Champions League qualifiers or Europa League again next season, which is disappointing. Just one different result and we would have finished in the top. We would have finished 3rd really, so that's disappointing. But Liverpool win the league. It was a 2-horse race just like it is this season. Scrolling down, Swansea, Nottingham and Wolves. Okay, Wolves, they all got relegated. We did win the FA Cup though. That's good. FA Cup winners against Tottenham. And we also won the Carabao Cup. Okay, so we do a double. That's good then. Don't really know what to make of it, but I'll take it. Barcelona did go on to take down AC Milan in the Champions League final. And Borussia Dortmund, they won the Europa League ahead of Marseille. Again, a lot of up and downs, but we're hoping to make it more ups in the next season. Season 8 begins with a centre-back signing. It is one of England's greatest prospects. It is Joe Gomez coming across from Manchester City for £58.3 million. You might look at this signing and think, what are you doing, Jared? Why have you brought in a 74 rated 18-year-old striker? Well, if you look at the top right, his nationality, Portuguese. This is Cristiano Ronaldo's regen, and I'm hoping that we can keep him on the bench, and by next season, I don't know what to even expect in all honesty. I just thought it'd be good to go in for him and have him here. So welcome to the club, Thiago Manuel Evangelista Santos. I'm just going to call him Thiago Santos. We have sold Paul Lopez to Roma. You can't see it on the right. For some reason it was glitching out, but you see the fort. There it is. It came up there. I don't know if you saw it. It was on the Santos page, but we have sold him to Roma for £43.8 million. And we are going to bring in a new starting goalkeeper. It is Andrei Lunin, the Ukrainian, signs from Real Madrid for £66.2 million. This guy is an absolute stud. Ben Brereton is departing the club. We have sold the man that has been here since day one to Leipzig for £30.5 million. We really are sparing no expenses this season. We were blessed with a pretty good transfer budget, so we're using it to our advantage. Christian Kwame is the latest player to join the club. The Ivorian joins us from Inter Milan for £66.7 million. So yeah, quite a busy transfer window here then. We brought in Gomez, Santos, Lunin, Kwame, got rid of Lopez and Brereton. And I mean, if we were in the Champions League this season, I would consider ourselves a very good chance of going the distance, but we're going to have to make sure we qualify again next season. Top 4 is a must. On the 1st of January, we are exactly where we want to be. Top of the Premier League table. We're trying to get Blackburn another Premier League title, but we want to make sure we stay here. We don't want to slip out of the top 4 like we have so many other times, but it's going to be a big test to see what we're made of in the second half of the season. Man United, Spurs, Everton, our closest opponents. Arsenal down in the relegation zone, but it is Bournemouth, Palace and Birmingham all in the drop zone. So no business done in this January transfer window. I think that's pretty acceptable given we spent 200 million bloody pounds in the opening window, but top 4, will we make it? Let's hope so. Get in there, lads. 2nd place. It would have been so good to win the Premier League, but honestly, I'll take 2nd place because that means Champions League football is coming back to Blackburn in season number 9. Man United win the league by 1 point. We're in 2nd. Who got relegated? It is Bournemouth, Birmingham and Crystal Palace. We did win the Community Shield over Liverpool at the start of the season. We were unable to go back-to-back in the FA Cup though. Spurs got that title. And the same applies for the Carabao Cup. We had the opportunity to go back-to-back, but we lost in the final to Man City. And speaking of Man City, they lost in the Champions League final 1-0 to PSG. And we had the opportunity to win another Europa League title, but Atletico Madrid dispatched of us in the final. We had a good run to the final, but unfortunately we lost to Atletico Madrid. So a fantastic season. Could have been even much better. We finished second basically in 3 competitions, the Premier League, Carabao Cup and Europa League, but we're in the Champions League next year and that's all we can really ask for with a good squad and a lot of money, I'm sure. Let's crack on and keep rebuilding Blackburn. Our first point of business for this season is to upgrade at the right back spot. It is Davide Calabria signing from Chelsea, 88 rated. He was really the only right back in the world. Yes, in the world that was going to be a decent upgrade. I looked through all the major leagues, scouted almost every right back, and Calabria was the only one that was like 88 rated. So we're signing him. Welcome to Blackburn, mate. And you guys know when I'm going for the Champions League, I always like to sign a backup goalkeeper. And we have signed that backup goalkeeper. It is Mile Zvila from Borussia Dortmund. We bring the Belgian keeper in for £27 million. We are going to sign a reserve midfielder, Tom Davies, coming across from Everton. We signed the Englishman for, I believe it was, £31.6 million. Going to use him in case Guendouzi or our other midfielder, whose name is escaping me right now, gets injured or suspended in the Champions League. 3 big signings here in Calabria, Zvila and Davies. Our starting lineup looks good, and now after bringing in Zvila and Davies, our bench is looking pretty class as well. So let's go and check out our Champions League group, and hopefully this is the season where we go the distance. So we are in Group A of the Champions League this season, and we have been drawn up against AC Milan, Leipzig and Fenerbahce. So hopefully we can get a little bit of revenge over AC Milan, but I just want to get out of the group, full stop. Get in there. What a performance that is. We qualify for the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Top of our group, not a single loss. Would have been nice for AC Milan to be eliminated by Leipzig, but is what it is. But all that matters is that we are through to the round of 16, and in the round of 16, we are going to be versing Anderlecht. Okay, Anderlecht. I don't think I've versed them in a long time in a rebuild. Don't think I've ever had any contact with Anderlecht, so hopefully we can take them down. Out of all the teams remaining, I feel like we've gotten the best draw, but we've got to be on our guard regardless. And on the 1st of January, we sit in 4th position in the Premier League, only 4 points away from first place Everton. And you guys know what I'm about to say. Top 4 is a must. And no business done in this January transfer window. If we're going to upgrade the squad, I think I'll do it next season, but I really want to have a go at winning the Champions League with this side here. So let's crack on. Anderlecht is our focus. We are the walking wounded for this first leg. Lunin, our goalkeeper, out, so I'm very happy I brought in Zvila. And then Sergio Regulion, our left back, injured as well, so luckily Kozak can play left back. He comes in, but Militao gets us off to the perfect start, picking us up an away goal there, which I am stoked to see. So we're 1-0 up on the away leg. We need a strong first leg. No injuries, no suspensions would be nice. Santos coming on for Malcolm, the Ronaldo regen. He gets us a penalty, but they got a goal back through Amuzu, but thankfully a second away goal. They miss a penalty right at the death. It's been a frantic second half, but we have a 2-1 lead heading into the second leg. All right, time for the home leg now. Still no Lunin or Regulion, which is annoying. Lunen's out for actually another 2 months with a broken tibia, which is bloody frustrating. But we do get a goal here. Kluivert making us a 3-1, giving us a 3-1 advantage, which is good to see. They miss a penalty, which helps because that would have got them an away goal on the board. We're into the second half. Guendouzi makes it 4-1. Surely we're through to the quarterfinals now. Let's get all our good players off. Let's not get suspensions and injuries. Guendouzi gets injured. Bloody hell, lads. Guendouzi gets an injury and goes straight off. He better not be out for a long time. Come on, man. Guendouzi's out for 3 months. Injury woes are killing us this season. AC Milan absolutely humbled us last time we faced them in the Champions League. We were in the same group. We were hoping they got eliminated, but it is not to be. It's a big challenge for us with a lot of injuries as well. Are we going to get taken down by AC Milan again, or will we be able to break free? So we do have Regulion back into the side, but still no Lunin and Guendouzi. And unfortunately, Tom Davies is suspended, which means 80 rated Moro, the Croatian midfielder, comes into the starting lineup. We're really up against it here, but if we can back a couple of away goals, that would be massive for us. Yellow cards going everywhere for our centre-backs, which hopefully doesn't mean suspensions for the second legs, but Milan have a very good side here. Gomez! You're kidding me, mate. Joe Gomez gets red carded. He's going to be missing the second leg at home. We've managed to keep it 0-0 here, which is encouraging. A 0-0 game with only 10 men for about 50 or 40 minutes, but yeah, a lot of yellow cards. All right, the home leg now. Tom Davies into the side. 85 rated. Koza coming in place of Gomez. He's 87 rated, which isn't too bad. We get through this and we are in a good standing. But we need to make sure we do not concede. Calabria with a yellow card against the side he started off with. Come on. Koza getting a yellow card. Yellow cards galore, but we want to see goals for Blackburn. Not for AC Milan. We need 2 goals. We get one back through Malcolm. Come on. Last 25 minutes. Are we going to get a second goal here? Come on. At the moment, AC Milan going through final 10 minutes. Injury. Get a late goal. Oh my God. AC Milan going through on away goals rule to the semi-finals. You are kidding me. It would have been so embarrassing if we weren't to make the Champions League this season, but we finish in 4th position, meaning we get another shot in Season 10. I really thought Season 9 was going to be the season we got all the glory, but it wasn't to be. Out in the quarterfinals, Man City do go ahead and win the Premier League, and it is Nottingham Forest, Newcastle and Fulham getting relegated. Liverpool did win the FA Cup over Chelsea, and Man City win the Carabao Cup over Liverpool. So we did lose to the eventual champions, AC Milan winning the Champions League, which makes me feel a little bit better about this season. And Real Betis took down Everton to win the Europa League on penalties, which might have just saved our Champions League spot for next season. Although I can't remember if Everton finished top 4 or not. Oh, they finished second, so it wouldn't have mattered regardless. I thought this was going to be the season that we completed the rebuild, but we need to come back at it next season and make some big changes. Our squad is aging, so we need to refresh it. We need to go the distance in season number 10. Although I wanted to stick with Kluivert for the remainder of this rebuild, I have decided to upgrade on the left-hand side of the pitch. We have brought in Callum Hudson-Odoi. Still a lot of room for growth for this guy, and 88 rated already. We splashed the cash and spent £93.2 million to secure his services. And on the very same day, we signed a new left-back. Sergio Regulion was starting to go down in overall once he hit 30, so we've got someone that's the same overall, but 25 years of age. Brazilian left back, I believe this might be Marcelo's regen, but we have signed Alan Norberto Antunes da Silva, who I'm just going to call Da Silva, for £49.5 million from AC Milan. And a player departure as we sell Adam Armstrong to Lazio for £11.1 million. 2 big player departures here. This one not so big because it is Joe Nuttall heading to Leganes in La Liga for £2.8 million, but Patson Daka, someone that's been here since the early days, never got close to reaching his 86 potential. We have decided to sell the Zambian to Stuttgart for £31.3 million. Upgrading once again at the striker spot, it is going to be Pietro Pellegrini, the Italian, coming across from Crystal Bloody Palace for £75.7 million. Only a 1 overall upgrade, but honestly, if I went for Mbappe or Rashford, that was going to be the only way I could even upgrade. There's not an over excess of amazing regens in this save, to be honest. And we've sold David Raya to Wolfsburg for £8.1 million. Now, this might be a little bit of overkill, but we have signed a new starting goalkeeper. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Buffon is one of my favourite goalkeepers of all time, one of my favourite players of all time, and we have just signed his regen player. It is Giacomo Proia, an Asian-looking Italian, 6'6", 88 rated. We spent £48 million to get him across from Leicester, so he'll be our number one keeper. Lunin will be our reserve, and we're going to keep Zvila as a backup goalkeeper, third string goalkeeper, just for the sake of it. So, a very serious, a very active window here. Hudson-Odoi, Antunes da Silva, Pellegrini, Proia into the club. Armstrong, Daka, Nuttall and Raya out of it. And this is the side we have going into the 10th season. Let's get past the bloody quarterfinals this year. Napoli, Stuttgart and CSK Moscow are our opponents for this Champions League season. I would say that ourselves and Napoli are the odds-on favourites to get out of the group, but stranger things always seem to happen in FIFA, so let's hope we're not the victim of it this season. So we've qualified through to the knockout rounds by the skin of our teeth. Goal difference, what a close group that is. Napoli, ourselves and Stuttgart all tied on 10 points, so we're counting our blessings to get out of Group B alive, but we need to take it under our wing and really push forward as we're facing Atletico Madrid in the round of 16, which is going to be a tough challenge. So, going to have to get past them, but I feel like our squad is good enough this year. And at the halfway point of the Premier League season, or just over, we are definitely in the thick of the title race, sitting in second position, 1 point behind Liverpool. No real surprise that we've done no business in this January transfer window. Hoping this side is enough to get us through. I mean, I've been confident at stages of this rebuild, but given our ups and downs, yeah, a little less confident. But let's just crack on and take on Atletico Madrid. Alright lads, the home leg up first. We need to get off to a strong start here, need to set ourselves up. You guys know I love to have the away leg first, but got to do with what you're given. They've got a good side here, a lot of big names Atletico Madrid, but I'm sure a lot of them are starting to decline. Can our youthful somewhat side get over the line? Nothing happening so far. We get a goal though, Pellegrini making it 1-0. Good. Now we need to focus on keeping a clean sheet there. Oh, that's just gone bad to worse. We could have gotten a 2-1 advantage, but Sanabria did get them an away goal, which isn't ideal. And it's going to be Atletico Madrid taking the advantage on away goals rule headed into the second leg in Madrid. Alright lads, the away leg here, and the equation is simple. We need goals. We need to score a minimum of 1. And need to make sure that Atletico don't score at all. They get a goal, but that still doesn't change the fact we need a goal to tie things up. Keane gets us an away goal. Okay, if we can get another goal now, then that would mean that Atletico would need 2. Half an hour to go. Malcolm gets us a second. Atletico need 2. They get 1. Saul with a red card. Hold on, last 10 minutes. Hold on. Yes, we get past Atletico Madrid and go through to the quarterfinals. Get in there. An all-English affair in the Champions League quarterfinals as we face Manchester City. Can we take down the guys from the Etihad? I would certainly hope so. We cop a pretty sizable L for the away leg because we are missing Eder Militao through suspension. But hopefully we can get a few away goals on the board here as we travel away to the Etihad. Muric in between the sticks, Sandler, Foyth, Raheem Sterling, Jesus. Decent players, and Sterling does get them a goal, but Keane gets us a ever crucial away goal, which is definitely what we are after. Can we get ourselves another away goal? That is the big question. Kwame on for Hudson-Odoi. We get an away goal, another one through Antunes da Silva. Marcelo's regen, getting us a huge second away goal. We could have done without Silva getting them a home goal right at the death, but 2 away goals definitely helps us out. Alright, the home leg now. We do have Eder Militao coming back into the starting lineup. We need his presence to help us keep a clean sheet here. A clean sheet sees us go through. I would love for us, there we go, I was about to say I would love for us to get some goals on the board for ourselves, and Guendouzi does just that. So we have a 3-2 advantage. Make that 4-2. Man City, 5-2. We are going off. What? 6-2. We are on fire. Get our good players off. We're going to the semi-finals. We have absolutely put the boot in. Make that 7-2. Man City, respect us. We have just murdered you. 7-2, 5-0. Wow. 4 teams remain. 1 English, 1 Italian, 1 French, 1 German. Are we going to be making it through to the final? Well, we will be facing Napoli, who was in our group, and we did beat them in the last or one of the final games, so that does give me a little bit of confidence, but we need to be on our A game. I would love another 5-0 performance like we got against City. The home leg to begin things off. Full strength starting 11, which I love, but can we get ourselves into a good position for the second leg? No away goals would be fantastic. Pellegrini getting a yellow card, which I'm not stoked about. They do have a good side, Napoli. We get a goal, though. Antunes da Silva stepping up big time for us. We get another goal. Keane, we are 2-0 up. How good is that? 2-0 up. Come on, let's keep a clean sheet. I'm happy with 2-0. As long as it's something to nil. Come on, last 10 minutes. Stay strong, lads. Stay strong. Malcolm makes it 3-0. That's the cherry on top. What an advantage we have as we head to Naples. 3-0 up. It's going to take a monumental choke for us not to be competing in the Champions League final. Come on, Blackburn. No injuries, no suspensions. Da Silva's going to be missing the Champions League final, isn't he? He got a yellow card in the last game. I would put odds on him getting suspended, but we do get an away goal. Calabria getting a yellow card as well. We are 4-0 up. Napoli need 5 goals, but I am very, very worried about suspensions. Jovic does get a goal back there for Napoli. Come on, let's get no more suspensions and no injuries. We're going to get another goal then. Okay, oh, man. Da Silva's definitely missing the Champions League final now. He gets a red card. Oh, that's not fun, but we go through dominantly 5-1. The Champions League final for Season 10, the 27th of May 2028, will be between Bayern Munich and Blackburn. We cruised to the final. 5-1 against Napoli, 7-2 against Man City, and away goals win against Atletico Madrid. But we're hoping to conclude the rebuild at this mark. Taking a look around the other tournaments, though, PSV did win the Europa League. We finished second in the Premier League. Would have been nice to win another Premier League title with Blackburn, but the most important thing is next season we get another shot if we don't beat Bayern Munich tonight. Who got relegated though? We're going to scroll down. It's going to be Burnley, Swansea and Crystal Palace. Everton won the FA Cup over Chelsea. We won the Carabao Cup, taking down Arsenal 3-1 in the final. So we're going to have a look at the squad report here before getting into the Champions League final. This rebuild so far has definitely taken a lot longer than I initially expected, but I do expect us to win tonight. The unfortunate thing is that Da Silva and Calabria are both suspended for the Champions League finals, so I'm going to be switching it up to a 3-4-1-2 formation with Kouame playing centre forward and then Keane and Pellegrini, playing at striker. But it should be an interesting final. We've built a crazy good squad full of crazy good youngsters, but can we finally get Blackburn the Champions League title? It's the promised land, the Champions League final. Let's get it done with Blackburn. They're in the attack here. Danny Ceballos going through. What a tackle from Hudson-Odoi. Oh, we just need to clear this shit. Still on though. Get rid of that. They win the header. Good save from Proyer. Bayern all over us so far. Hudson-Odoi dropping back so hard. But it's Davies putting it just wide. Honestly, we're having to defend so tightly here. Well won from Keane. Let's go early. I wanted a lucky bounce there. Guendouzi flying above the defense though. Come on, Keane. Feeding it through. Pellegrini on the angle. We've got to be scoring in those opportunities. Here we go. We're going to feed it through. We've got some nice options. Nice ball. Callum Hudson-Odoi finesses, hits the crossbar, the post, and we blow the... Oh, come on. We blow the follow-up over the crossbar. Should have done a lot better with the follow-up there. Oh, look at that. We don't even get a good angle. That's so frustrating. We're starting to find our feet in this game, though, which makes me very confident. Pellegrini has a lot of strength. He's going to go back here. Passing it around. Feeding it through. Guendouzi! There it is! We take the lead. Matteo Guendouzi, been here since the early days, gets us the lead in the Champions League final. You can't give him that much space, and he will make you pay. It is Blackburn taking the lead after a tough start. 42 minutes into it. Look at this. Beautiful ball movement. Great drawing into the defender. One touch. Bang! Onana left too short. I want to see how high Onana, or how close Onana got to this one. It's going. Yeah, it's just into the roof of the net. What a finish. They're looking to get an equaliser here, Bayern, just before half-time. Oh, we can't give Ceballos that much space. He goes to Greenwood. Why were we so calm there? Our keeper was way too casual about that. I would love a second goal off the kickoff here for the second half. Pellegrini going back. Guendouzi, the goal scorer. Out to Malcolm. La Croqueta! Off the post! Oh no, the follow-up! Keane has missed another one off the post. Oh my god. It's been a very scrappy second half, but Bayern get the shot. Greenwood forcing a save out of Proyer. We're going to clear that one away. Oh, straight back to them though. Greenwood again. We need to stop him. Greenwood! Oh my god, Greenwood's almost made us pay. It's been such a scrappy second half here, but we're looking to take our advantage to 2. Come on. Oh, beautiful ball. Malcolm to Pellegrini. Pellegrini holding it up. Pellegrini's going to go out. Callum Hudson-Odoi going there. We're going to keep hold of possession. Hudson-Odoi cutting back. Putting it in. Back post. Oh, Guendouzi. Thought he could have made that 2-0 there. Malcolm. La Croqueta. The shot. Oh, good save, Onana. Come on. We're looking for the opportunity over the top. Hudson-Odoi to kill off the Champions League final. Oh, what a save from Onana. We're into 2 minutes of stoppage time now, lads. We win the ball back. Well, that kick helps us a lot. Let's just hold on to possession here. Call the clock down. Wind it down, and we will be Champions League winners. Come on, lads. Any second now. Let's go for another goal to put the cherry on top. It goes in. Ah, they're going to win the ball back, but we are going to, yes, we're going to win the Champions League title with Blackburn. One of the toughest rebuilds we have ever done has been completed. Lads, if you enjoyed today's rebuild, make sure you leave a like on the video. It has taken me so long to complete. Make sure you scorpion kick that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. Oh, I hope you enjoy the title celebrations. It's been JarradHD here. I am out. Peace.